Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard at Richard of the MakeCode Forum.
And I'm Thomas at Sparks of the MakeCode Forum.
Oops. I don't know if you could hear the volume change noise.
Just a little, but it's fine.
All right. Yeah, today we're working on our tunneling game. So I've actually been looking forward to working on this like all day. So if you haven't joined when we started working on this, we're making a game where it has like destructible terrain, where you can tunnel downwards. It's also procedurally generated, though the procedural generation isn't that interesting right now.
I see you added little dots around the waves.
Yeah, to make it look a little bit nicer. Mm-hmm. I was borrowing a trick from the background we have in our gallery. This one.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. Done by a much more talented artist than I. So last time we made it so that you could kind of go down infinitely, and you can go back up. So we got that all figured out. Basically, we have chunks that get loaded in, and these chunks get saved. And so you can go down and go up, and we only have 2 chunks that are actually loaded at any one time. But we're just kind of like seamlessly swapping them out such that you can't actually see it happening. Right.
Yeah.
And now that we've got that going, I think we now have to talk a little bit more about like what we want this game to actually involve, right? So I think our main premise so far is that tunneling is fun.
That is what we've got.
But we should probably be like doing it to some sort of purpose, I guess. So there's 2 things we still have to kind of figure out. Like, what do we want the controls to be? Because right now we just have it where we like, generate a circle around us whenever we press A, which is kind of awkward. Probably not what we actually want to go with. We have to decide like what we want to make the actual tunneling be like. It is very efficient though. You can get down deep really fast. And then, like, I think the other thing we want to decide is, like, what do we want to procedurally generate into these chunks, right? Like, there should probably be, like, obstacles you have to avoid or something, like little pockets of lava or something that you have to dig around.
Yeah. Could have little caves with treasure in them or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it would be good probably to put, like, I don't know, some fossils or treasure, like you mentioned, in the world that we want to, like collect.
I do like the idea of being a little archaeologist collecting fossils.
Yeah, paleontologist.
Oh, sorry, you're right, paleontologist.
We could also do relics though. Then you're an archaeologist.
You could be both.
True, and it's very popular these days to be an paleontologist.
Yeah,
I've heard.
So you know those TV characters that are like, I have 7 PhDs and I started college when I was 10 years old. You're just one of those.
I'm a super genius, which means I'm a genius in all fields, just like every Marvel character.
Exactly.
Marvel movies. I'm not going to get started on them, but I watched a lot of superhero movies over the weekend, and by that I mean I saw the new Marvel, the Fantastic Four, and Superman in one sitting.
Back to back, huh?
Yeah, bought 2 tickets. Anyway, so we want to let's decide how we want what controls we want to have. Like what is our method for tunneling in this game? All right. So let's do some prior art analysis, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind is Terraria. And actually, I don't know how Terraria controls on consoles. I'm pretty sure there are console versions of Terraria. But like when you're on computer, you use your mouse to aim.
Yeah, you just click.
Yeah, and you just have a pitchfork and you kind of just, hack away.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never played it on a console. But we do have mouse control.
I would bet you it's right. It's right joystick is aim, and then
probably.
and then they like put the mining thing on like the R button or something. Obviously, we don't have the luxury here. Okay, so let's look at something else. Let's look at like Spelunky. Have you ever played any Spelunky games?
I think maybe very briefly, but not to like a degree where I actually have a meaningful understanding of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly how Spelunky works for this. So I know Spelunky definitely has bombs. So you can like throw a bomb and it'll just blow up the surrounding environs. And I think they have other items you can pick up that allow you to tunnel as well. Like I think there's like a drill and stuff like that. I don't think you can just bust through stuff unless you have one of those tools. You know? Let's see if the magic of Googling will let us know what items will let you tunnel in. This is not helpful. All right. Well, whatever. So the idea there is you have a bomb you throw, it'll like bounce, bounce, bounce. You need to run away from it, obviously, and then it will blow up and leave like a crater behind, right? And that's kind of fun because one, in Spelunky, everything is trying to kill you all the time. And so it's, you know, bombs are just another way for you to accidentally die. When you you know, blow yourself up. The downsides are that they won't let you tunnel very fast, right?
True. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to. It's not going to be a very precise tunnel, I guess.
Yeah, it's a shame though because I like the idea of it a lot.
I like having. I wonder if you could take that and make it like a pretty fast-paced timer. You're just like checking bombs and running away, maybe dodging some enemies or whatever, and then just like trying to quickly. Almost becomes like a little bit of like a Twitch game, like.
Right. So you're imagining a timer of like a second.
Yeah. But I don't know if you'll get the same satisfaction of tunneling as you get when it's this more kind of digging thing, but it would maybe be fun.
Yeah. So another thing to do this is we could have multiple ways of doing this sort of thing, like different items, kind of like in Spelunky. And you just kind of get them as you go through. Like we could put like a little crate here. And then if you dig over to that crate using whatever your default slow thing is, you could get a bomb, which would blow up like a huge circle, or like a drill item, which will let you just drill straight down for a bit.
Supposed to, yeah, that could work too.
Yeah, that would be fun. Let's do that. Okay, so let's think of some items that we could have. So one, like our default mode of tunneling is just going to be like a shovel, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll just make it so you can just dig straight down, basically, and then maybe a little bit to the side. Like we can make it so that, let's see, B like digs to the side and A digs down. Or I guess we're not using the down button, so we could just use down digs down, and then A digs to the side. Or maybe we just A to dig.
Yeah, we could also just do mouse controls, since this seems like this is not going to be playable on handheld devices anyway.
Yeah, I guess we have kind of given up on that. That's not going to happen. So
that like aim and click kind of gameplay.
All right, let's prototype that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and class slots, format code. We're going to go to extensions. Oh, before we do something where we blow up our game, always good to save. Wow, we don't have that much code right now.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
well,
like
I think these functions are pretty big, but yeah.
They are pretty big, yes. But so Okay, so we're going to go to extensions. We're going to add browser events.
Might be getting ahead of ourselves a little bit with this question, but in case it shapes decisions, do we think we're going to want to be able to place ground? We had talked about it briefly as a way to like, get back up. I think there could be other ways to make it so that we can ascend our tunnels more if we need to. But
yeah, so again, Splunky kind of has a fun way of doing this, right? So there are a few different ways to go up in Splunky. There's jumping. There is a jetpack you can get, which will let you hover for a time. But the most common way to get up is you can shoot a rope upwards and it will drop down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
So it lets you basically like create your own ladder for an area, and you only have a limited number of ropes, right? So you can put a rope right here; it'll stay there, and you can climb up that. But
yeah, I like that better, I think, than just placing dirt somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go into browser events. We're going to go ahead and grab the on mouse move because we need to keep track of the mouse location. And we're going to draw some sort of indicator. I mean, do we want to draw like a literal pickaxe or something?
Sure.
All right.
A shovel, I guess, maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, so before we do that, let's make our character into like an actual little character guy. So we're going to leave our we're going to do the thing we normally do, which is we are going to have our sprite underneath stay like this, and then we're going to do animations on top of it, so they're like decoupled. And the reason we're going to do that for this one is because, one, we want our animations to be able to change size without messing things up. But two, it's actually kind of important that our guy has these little under pixels here. It lets you go over slopes easier because of how our physics works. So we want to maintain that as we're doing this. So with that, let's go ahead and create another sprite that we're going to put on top of this. So let's go ahead and make a new sprite. We're going to call this visible player sprite. We're going to give it kind food, which is just the kind we give to stuff that we never use because we don't actually have food. And we're going to take these character animations and we're going to put them up on this guy instead. Okay. Can you hear every time it's doing the disconnect? Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening.
Is it like some USB you have connected?
I feel like it's got to be like my USB dock messing up or something.
No. All
right. Well, hopefully it stops.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to change this to be visible player sprites. And we're going to draw some actual stuff. We're just going to do the classic Richard character here. The classic Richard character is this dude. Haven't used him in the game in a while. Needs to be a little bit taller. Okay. 5x8 is the size. Let's go ahead and, we were already in the animation editor. Yes, sir. We're going to go ahead and animate this guy. So this is how you do the classic Richard run animation. The reason I give this guy this fun little haircut is so that I can do this.
Very dynamic.
Yep. And then next frame, it goes back up to normal. And we have his legs move. Duplicate. Duplicate. Back down. And once again, we do some hair animation. Go. We could probably do it more like that. And then we need to make this way faster. So like 50. There you go. Now he's got his hair like flopping around there, which is a nice, fun little animation.
Love it.
We're going to copy this face thing, duplicate this, go ahead and put this in our left facing one, and we're going to go ahead and do Shift H, which will flip it for us. And we're going to make this facing right and moving, and we're going to make this facing left and moving. And go ahead and set our initial image here. So this is going to be 5 by 8. Paste in our dude. There we go. And let's go ahead and actually put this guy in the right place. So we're going to do an on-game update. And we're going to set visible player sprite X to be equal to our player sprites X. And then we're going to set the bottom to be the player sprite bottom. All right, there we go. Okay, now we can walk around with this dude, but this guy's still in the way. So we're going to set this guy to be invisible. So we're going to set our my sprite to be invisible. I just realized that this is actually probably going to be messed up because of our physics.
Yeah, I was wondering if the moving is going to work in this context.
It'll be fine. We want to set my sprite invisible on like that, and we want to set visible player sprite ghost, even though that doesn't actually matter here, but might as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so why is it going slow? There we go. Oh, okay. We didn't change the interval for the left, so this should be 50. All right, so it thinks it's always moving is kind of the thing here. Just a little funny.
Just running in place.
Yeah, I wonder where that is. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. So, let's try drawing a pickaxe. Okay. Function, make a function, draw pickaxe. This is going to take in a number, which is going to be player X, player Y, and angle. And we're going to use this to draw a pickaxe. So let's go ahead and add sprite utils so that we can call this function. We're going to go ahead and do jwonderl jwonderl / arcade sprite util no s.
There you go. First try.
Yep, I have to think about it every single time because Joey did this wonderful thing where it's called sprite utils. It says sprite utils. There's an S right there. And then the repo does not have the S. So I have to remember, okay, wait, is it the category that doesn't have the S or is it the repo? Yeah.
That is it. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and grab a render on z-index. There it is. All right. Set this to be like 2, I don't know. We're going to call our draw pickaxe. Inside here, we're going to go ahead and place the my sprite X, my sprite Y. And we're going to go ahead and make a variable. We're going to call this pickaxe angle. And on our mouse move, we're going to calculate this angle. So inside sprite tills, there's a nifty function here, which is the angle between right here. And by the way this is worded, you might be like, oh, so this only works with 2 sprites. Well, actually, inside sprite tills at the bottom here, you can grab this position thing, slot it in there. There you go. Now you're doing from an angle to a position.
That's nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We want to do to this XY, but we can't just go straight to the XY because we have a camera. So the XY of our mouse is always going to be between 0 and 160 and 0 and 120 for the X and Y. So as we move downwards, our sprites X and Y are actually going to be much higher than that because they're going downwards. So actually the X will. We don't have to mess with the X, but the Y will. So we need to add the camera top to our Y, and that'll make it so that our Y is translated down to, wherever the player is, wherever it actually looks like the mouse is relative to the player. So we're going to go into scene. We're going to grab this camera property thing, make it camera top, put it in there. And okay, that was right. Cool. All right. So we're going to take this variable, stick it in there. And now inside here, let's just draw something to make it so that we actually can see something. We're going to go ahead and do a draw line. For this argument, normally I grab the screen and I put it in here, but I realized recently that screen is just in the image category. That's way easier. So now you don't have to pass it as an argument to all the functions like I used to do.
Nice.
Okay, so we want to project this line outwards. So that's going to be player X plus, we have to subtract the camera from this. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, let's do that right now. Player X minus, where's that camera property? Here we go. Camera left. Player Y minus camera top. Then we want to do player X minus camera left plus, this is going to be a long block. We want to grab cosine, just inside the square root, of our angle times however long we want it to be. So we're going to set this to just be 16. This is just a test thing that we're drawing right now. So that plus 16 times cosine of the angle. Duplicate this, swap this out for y, and then we want to make this the sine to get the y component. All right, so this should now be drawing a 16 pixel long line that points in the correct angle. So we can see it there.
Perfect.
It's black because it's drawing transparency. We didn't change the color.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to draw something that looks kind of like a pitch. I keep trying to say pitchfork, but it's pickaxe. So I guess yeah, go ahead.
There's pickaxe or shovel. I'm wondering which is going to be easier to draw. We can't use a sprite.
Probably pickaxe.
Yeah.
Right?
Just do like a T.
Yeah, I'll have to draw a polygon for the other one, and I think I can get this done with lines. I hope.
Yeah, I think pickaxe is probably slightly easier.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and make a function to make this easier for us. Let's make a function. We're gonna call this draw line with camera, and it's gonna take in a number x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to be drawing a lot of lines, and I don't want to do all this camera math every time.
You might even consider just passing in an angle and a size.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's actually going to be helpful, because that's going to work for this specific line, but then for all of the other ones, we're going to have to readjust the coordinates.
Yeah. Try this and see.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have thrown away this whole thing, but
those when you call this function again.
That's where we're at now. And we should also pass in a color. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I have Donkey Kong on the brain. When I think okay, I think okay from the N64 game. Thomas, did you ever have an N64?
No, I never did.
Hmm.
I had friends that did. I thought it was pretty cool, but never had one myself. My first gaming device was a Game Boy Advance, followed by a PlayStation 2.
Mm. So you started older than me. I got my first game thing was a Game Boy Color, which was yeah.
Nice.
For those at home, we're about the same age. 1 year apart.
Yep.
Okay. So we want to draw a line. We want it to be slightly offset from our player, I think. We don't want the line to be extending into our player. This is going to be the handle.
Yeah.
Let's see. Geometry GD says, hello, didn't expect to catch a MakeCode stream. Pimink says, hello as well. Pimink also asks, what are Thomas's and Richard's opinions on DK Rap? 2 thumbs up.
Never played it.
You haven't heard the DK Rap?
I have no idea what's happening.
Donkey Kong.
Oh, no, I know about this.
Donkey Kong is here. Yeah, no, there's a whole rap. So, okay, I'm going to do a brief aside on the Donkey Kong rap because I think it's very funny. So, when you're talking about the consoles in the era of the Nintendo 64, the two that you talk about are Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1, right? Came out about the same time. I think the PlayStation 1 actually came out first. And they use 2 different technologies for holding the games, right? They're pretty comparable in terms of power. They have some things that they can do that are different, you know. But one big advantage that the PS1 had over the N64 was N64 used cartridges, which only had so much space where you could store ROMs. And the PlayStation 1 used CDs, which had a lot more space that you could put the stuff on. And I think Michelle says, Richard, force him to listen to it. I will later. It's the best intro ever.
I'll listen to it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So a lot of N64 games, you will see, they don't have textures that are quite as high quality as they are on the PlayStation 1, or they don't have as many textures. They have textures that get used a lot in the same places. And when we talk about things that take up a lot of space on a ROM, whether it's on a CD or a cartridge, one of the biggest things is audio. All right. Now, Donkey Kong 64 is a big game, big in scale. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I find it extremely funny that they had to dedicate a huge amount of the cartridge space to the DK rap, which is a fairly long rap song that is just used in the intro cutscene if you don't press the button before the menu loads. You know?
Oh, yeah. It's dedication, I guess.
Yeah. Also, the only part of the DK rap that I remember the words to are Lanky Kongs, which are, yeah, there's a lot of Kongs, you know.
Okay.
The new Donkey Kong game doesn't have quite as many.
Oh, I want to play the new one. I've never played a Donkey Kong game before, so
yeah. Most of them are just side-scrolling platformers. I think the only ones that are different are DK64 and this new one. The Make Official says, the one with no style, the one with no grace. This Kong has a funny face. He can handstand if he needs to. Stretch his face out just for you. I can keep going, but I won't. Okay. So we're going to want to extrude this out, basically, so that we're drawing a line that is offset a few pixels from the center of our guy. So we're going to be doing the same math that we did before, but we're going to be doing it twice, basically. So we're going to do player x plus, and we're going to grab the cosine, just like we did before, make this cosine of angle, and then multiply this by whatever we want the distance to be. So the distance in this case, let's set it off by 6 pixels. I'm just arbitrarily choosing that. And we're going to do the same thing for y, but change this to be sine. And now for the next two arguments, we're going to be doing the same thing, just with a larger value. So we'll make this be 12. I don't know. And then for the color, let's do brown because this is the handle. I think brown is 14. There we go. Okay. So we have a line being drawn around our guy, but it's offset a bit.
It's what? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's offset a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Now our visual sprite is like actually taller than our body sprite.
Oh, that's why it's like, yeah.
Yeah. But they're aligned at the bottom. So if we want it to look more like aligned to this guy, we actually probably want to move it up a few pixels. So we're just going to subtract from the y, move it up 2 pixels. Sorry, were you going to say something else, or was that it?
Nope, that's all.
Yeah. All right, hopefully that will look a bit better. Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right.
Looks pretty centered.
Okay, so now here's where it gets pretty annoying. Okay, so we're going to, we want to draw 2 lines, basically. We're going to draw a line that's going from this center part to the left and one that's going to the right at slightly different angles, right? So we don't want it to just be a T. We want it, because, you know, they curve.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to see if we can get by with just an angle, which might look still bad, but I don't know.
Yeah, you'll get the point across.
Yeah. Geometry GD asks, is there no pi in MakeCode? I've just been using a sine of x to get a fraction of pi, but I didn't see any blocks that would just give you useful constants.
You want to take this one, Richard?
Sure. You will. Do you know? You can take it.
Well, I know you added one in Microbit, but I don't think it's in Arcade yet.
Yeah.
But you can also probably just use 3.14 and you'll be fine.
Yep. That's the main thing. So a lot of people like overcorrect on pi. They're like, I need the pi constant. If you do 3.14, unless you're doing really, really big numbers, you're okay. That being said, this will be in the next release of Arcade. There will now be a math constants block in the math category. In the meantime, if you desperately need to have pi, inside of Sprite Utils, there's a block for this. It's not a number block.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. So that's jwonderl/arcade Sprite Util. You can probably find it linked on the forum all over the place because people like using it. Okay. All right, so we want to project outwards from this. Let's go ahead and make this a different color. So I want this to be dark purple, which I think is 11. Actually, it should probably be light purple, which is, I don't know. Let's just look it up. Okay, no, light purple is 11. Great.
You had it subconsciously perfect.
Yep. All right. So we want to, our start point is going to be the same as our old end point, right? Which is already this right here. But for this one, we want to take that end point and we want to project at another angle off of that. So if you thought this was a long block, oh boy, get ready.
Just imagine if we hadn't made the draw relative to camera function.
Yeah, I predicted this, which is why I did that. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to project again. So we're going to add to this another multiplier. Let's make it 6 times, and we don't want to do times the cosine of the angle. That's just going to keep going in the same direction. We want this to be times the angle that is like perpendicular, but like a little bit down.
Yeah, like angle minus what, 100 degrees? 95?
Yeah, so we're going to be like adding to the angle and subtracting from the angle, right?
Yeah.
So let's take the up case as an example. All right. So if I have this straight up, all right, my angle right now is equal to
90, right? Or no?
No, it's 275 or whatever. No, 270. Yes, 270. So my angle right now is 270. And so the angle that we want to project off of this is probably going to be like, we want it to be for the left part, we want to go down to be like just less than 180, right?
Yeah.
And then for the right part, we want it to be just greater than 0. So I think what we want to do is we want to add or subtract more than 90, and that should do it, right?
95 or 100, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, so right now we just have this 1 in here,
Oh, I see.
which we haven't put in yet. So that's why you're getting these weird things being drawn, is because we're always setting the y as 1. But yeah, just don't worry about that. All right. So for this angle right here, we're going to go ahead and grab a plus, and we're going to convert this angle. It's easy for me to think in terms of degrees. I mean, I could calculate this, but I don't want to. So we're going to do degrees to radians, which is also in the Sprite Utils extension. And we're going to set this to be 95. Sounds good. And yeah, duplicate this whole thing. But we're going to put the y as the first part. We're going to change this to be sine, and then leave the angle the same, like that. Okay, there we go. We have a scythe.
Yeah. Is it like growing and shrinking?
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's that about? Is this just a rounding error, or did I mess up some numbers? I mean, it might just be a rounding error just based off of our...
Yeah, it's hard to think how that would grow.
Oh, it's because we're not subtracting 2 from this player y.
That would do it.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. That looks fairly consistent now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think it's going to look good once we get the other side done.
I think we might have to like make it thicker, which we can do.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a little shorter, but
yeah, I agree. Also, like shorter and like thicker, because right now I think it looks like when it's real pixely, like right here, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on, you know?
Fair.
Okay. So we're just going to copy and paste this, and we're going to make this be minus 95 degrees instead of plus. And that should give us our thing. It's an umbrella.
Yeah, hopefully an umbrella or big T.
Yeah, so let's we're going to make this, instead of 6, we'll make it, well, let's just start with 5, I guess. So 5, 5, 5, 5. There we go. Still a little long. I think maybe we should also increase the angle just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Make it 100. And we'll make this be 4.5. I feel like 4 is going to be too short.
Okay.
That's just a feeling.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty nice. Yeah.
All right. Let's try it as a thicker line. All right. So to do this, we're going to take our draw line with camera function, and we're just going to make this draw thick lines instead of not thick lines. So the way to draw thick lines is kind of annoying, but you just want to draw the line 5 times. 5 times? What are you talking about? So you want to draw once the normal way, and then you want to draw it 1 pixel up, 1 pixel to the right, 1 pixel down, 1 pixel to the left. I'm sure there's a smarter way to do this, but this works, and this is how I've always done it. So Otherwise, you have to like take the angle into account and stuff like that. Nah, don't worry about it. Just draw 5 times. It's not that expensive.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and grab a plus block, and we're going to replace all of these x1s with x1 plus 0. Oh. Going to do the same thing for all of these other ones. So sorry. I hope you like watching me just copy and paste stuff around, because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 minutes.
Pinmake official, assuming your question is talking about whether or not you'll be allowed to post the game to the forums, I think if you have to ask, then the answer is probably no. Probably don't do that.
What is it? Wait, what is the game?
It's a cookie clicker game where you are going to have workers that you put in the basement and occasionally have to hit to get them to continue working.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly.
All right. Get rid of all this. I could have just done this once and copy pasted 3 times. All right.
Hindsight.
Yep. Okay, so we want to do +1 for the x, both the x arguments. Now we're going to do plus -1 for both the x arguments. Now we're going to do +1 for both the y arguments. Now we're going to do -1 for both the y arguments. And we should now be drawing a nice thick line. Well, maybe the handle should stay thin.
Yeah, I think thin handle maybe.
But I think it looks better for the top part.
Hmm.
All right. Edit function, Boolean.
Is thick Boolean.
Thick line. Oh yeah. I mean, it's weird. When I'm writing a Boolean argument, I always do the is whatever. But in blocks, for some reason, that goes to the wayside. Wait, I did that backwards.
Yeah, other way around. It's I kind of like it. It's like is it a hammer? Is it a pickaxe? Either one works.
I feel like we should make it so that the top of the thing extends out like 1 pixel beyond.
Oh yeah.
And I think we should maybe even make the angle a little bit more. Let's just make it real drastic till we go too far and then back off. So let's do 110. See what we get. It's not that bad. Maybe 1 pixel less. Well, like 5 degrees less. We'll do 1. Not 15. No, 5. All right, and then we want to make this go, let's do 13, which may or may not be long enough. Yeah, just barely off, so 14 will definitely be okay.
Yeah.
Looks a little silly.
I'm a little torn on the extending past. I like it in theory.
Yeah. Let's undo that, and let's, for our thick line, let's actually just pull out half of these. I don't actually know what this is going to look like. Okay, that's I pulled out both the y ones instead of both one y1 and one x1. All right.
It's like when you write with one of those slanted pens, you know.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah, I think that works.
It's a little less consistent, but it does, I think, look better.
Communicates the idea.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, this will work. So now we want to make it so that when we click in that direction, it's going to, I don't know, it doesn't like animate, does it? I don't want to do that. Hi, Gimori.
We can just dig, and maybe you could chuck some particles or something out if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. Oh wait, so I want to grab the mouse click. There we go. On left mouse button pressed. And we're going to go to our A button pressed right now. Pull this out. Stick it in here. All right. So, in here we're using the MySprite X, MySprite Y, right? So we want to change this to be our mouse X, mouse Y, except not really, because we actually want it to be like,
I think we're gonna doing the same kind of extending thing to get the point that we did for the pickaxe.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So we're gonna grab this code right here, stick it right there, and then instead of the player X, we're gonna be using the MySprite X. And the angle is going to be our pickaxe angle, like that. We'll set this to be 13. I don't know. And we're going to do the same thing for the Y. There you go. And then this is just a copy of that one, but with the bottom chunk image instead. So we're going to pull that out, duplicate, toss that. I think that should do it. Bam, bam. Okay, a little too far, probably, because I can...
Huh.
It's a little off, doesn't it?
It does seem not quite right. Uh-oh.
No, something's definitely off. Oh, I forgot to subtract the chunk Y. Sorry, not Y, top. So we want to subtract the top from this. What am I doing here? Why did I don't know why I just did that. We just wanted to change this to bottom chunk.
Yeah.
Also, this is cosine.
Oh, yeah, that should be... Did we? Is that wrong?
No, it can't be wrong in the other one. Yeah, no, it's right. Sine.
Okay.
I think I just copied twice. Okay. There we go. We can now blast a thing in this direction. Probably a little too powerful.
Maybe. You might want to pull it a little closer to the player, too.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're using the same value for the circle radius and the distance from the player.
Yeah, we should also probably subtract 2 from the Y like we're doing for the drawing. So go ahead and subtract 2 right there. And we want to decrease this radius a little bit. So we'll make this be 11. I think we're going to decrease this radius as well. Let's make this be 8.
I think if we do that, the hole will be inaccessible. Oh, not quite, actually.
Yeah, no, it's still accessible. All right. Don't like this perfect circle thing we got going on. Right?
Yeah.
I want it to be more kind of natural looking, I guess. The other thing is, because we're doing a perfect circle, like given the radius, it means that like this happens, right?
Yeah.
So at certain angles, when we do it, we're basically creating this thing, and there's just like tiny sliver left between us and the other thing. So we'll do our own little custom chunk obliteration, I think. And for that, we can use the inside of images, we have, because I added the advanced thing to this, we have this draw and fill polygon guy. So we are going to make a function for this. Dig in direction. It's going to take in player X, player Y, angle, and then, I don't know, like a distance.
Sure. Yeah.
I have a feeling we might want to reuse this, but with like other tools if we add more tools at some point. So,
Mm.
right. So we're gonna grab this, put that in there, and we're gonna grab this and this. We might just adjust the. You know what? Let's edit function. We're gonna make this be dig X, dig Y, leave the distance, and then pass in an image. And we're gonna do the math to adjust it up here because we're gonna be doing a lot more trigonometry in here. Oh yeah, the dings are back. We're going to be doing a lot more trigonometry in here, and I don't want to copy and paste this, you know, my sprite X, or my sprite X is actually fine, but the my sprite Y -2 minus chunk top, you know, we can make it so we're copying and pasting fewer things if we do this instead. So I'm going to pull these out. I'm going to leave them aside. And we're going to go ahead and call dig in direction. We're going to pass in this top chunk image. And then for this, we're going to put in the X for the player X. For the Y, we're going to do the my sprite Y -2 minus the top chunk top.
Kimoiri asks what the objective for the game is. It's a little bit TBD, but digging a tunnel and maybe finding some stuff.
Yeah, you know, I think we're probably gonna like look for fossils or something, or maybe we just make it a thing where you just dig as deep as you can and into the time limit or something. I don't know.
That would be fun if you look for fossils and then when you found them, it became a little pet that followed you around.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, great. We're going to duplicate this and do it for the bottom chunk as well. And I think that will probably be it for us today. We are out of time for today, but join us on Wednesday when we keep working on this. So, a little bit of house cleaning here at the end. We the next mini game jam will be announced on Monday of next week. So first Monday of the month. We don't have a theme for it yet. So if you have a theme that you really want to see for a mini game jam, let us know in chat or go ahead and post it on the forum. And the next big game jam will be in October. And people are asking me for hints for that. I'm going to give a hint every Friday that's extremely vague and not helpful at all. So if you want to tune in on Friday to try and get a extremely vague hint that is not helpful at all, please do so. Pimink Official says, wait, I have an idea. Clicker game. Clicker game's interesting. I have to think that over. It's very limiting in the. It is a very specific game, you know.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily make a bad theme, but I also don't want us playing the exact same game 20 times at the end of the month.
To take a while to do anything particularly interesting in them.
That's true. So in clicker games, there's often like a very big like number goes up, and they're very addictive. I find myself whenever I'm playing one on the forum, playing it until I beat it. But it does take a certain amount of time, and unless we want to have like 20 tabs going with different games where we're all just kind of waiting on numbers to go up. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I'm Richard Archer of the MakeCode Forum.
I'm Thomas at Spunks on the MakeCode Forum.
And yeah, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.